For this simple watercolor painting, I'm going to use the medium watercolor paper again. It's cold press, 10 by 7 inches, is 100% cotton. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do a simple ideas about how we're gonna use the paper, and the composition is according to the reference, but you always can change it. And the main object takes more than half of the horizontal space, right? So I'm gonna take a look at one step at a time. So let's take a look. You can leave the left side and the right side the same amount of horizontal space if you want. So I'm gonna mix a little bit light color. So it's get a little bit yellow and blue and the red. This is fine. So keep that a little bit more gray because both sides the edge is a little bit gray. So, but don't make it too dark. Okay, here you go. Take a little bit more water. And I'm gonna put a little mark, one decision at a time. Okay, here we go. That's, you probably see it, probably not really too clear. And on this side, and you can use graphite pencil to do this if you want to. Now we're gonna take a look at the width. I think approximately it goes twice as the height of the egg. So I need to thinking about where's the top, where's the bottom, right? So I'm gonna take a look at that. The bottom of the egg, it could be down over here, and the top of the egg would be here, like that. So make it just a little bit tiny, visible. That's good. And the middle right over here, like that. Okay, this is pretty good. And we don't have to draw all the line because we're gonna paint the eggshell first. So we're gonna paint that, and then after that we're gonna paint the background. Okay, and then the middle over here. Just think about that. That's middle over here, this much, almost like a third, like this, almost. That, but the middle you can leave a little bit more, like that. I think that little bit tiny more, darker. Okay, this third, and then on this side, another third. One decision at a time. Okay, don't try to make all the decision at once so that you would confuse yourself, and as well as the quality of your decisions is going to be less, right? You're going to coming over here, like that, coming down. This is good. All right, now I'm going to take a look at the top over here, like that. We don't have to make all the decision at once again. We're going to do it one at a time. I know there's some artists, they like to actually draw out every little details with pencil before they start the watercolor painting. And we are try different approach. We try to do it a little bit more relaxing. One decision at a time, right? So the top over here, and this side of the top, that would be a little bit lower, like that. Coming over here. Okay, this is good. And then the top of the height of the egg is very much like about 2/3, and the top have a little bit more than 1/3. Okay, like that. This is good. All right, we're getting somewhere. And then on the table, it have this much. They're seeing the eggs on the table. Okay, here you go, like that. They're pretty good over here too. So I think this is pretty good. All right, I'm gonna start painting on the outside of the egg. Let's start on this side. Okay, so the top you can leave it white, but I don't think it need to be that white. You still can have a little color. You're seeing that very light just because of the outside is very dark in the reference. Okay, let's take a look. And I'm going to just mix the 3 color together and getting the gray color. Okay, a little bit more blue coming over here. Now this is a bit more gray. Okay, this is good. I'm going to change that to the flat brush. Actually, it would be a lot easier when you paint the bigger wash. So let's see. I'm going to take this color, and now I'm going to just paint the shape. See that from here coming down like that. Here you go. I already have a little gray color on it. Maybe light up a little bit. Just use the 1-inch brush. The flat brush would make it a lot easier to paint. A lot easier to make the more consistent, easier to blend it together. And the bottom, I'm gonna have a little bit darker. I'm gonna just mix a little bit more color at the blue and take a little bit more the red and yellow into here. So this is good. Now I'm gonna take a look, and one little decision at a time. That's a little bit darker. That's good. Now coming over here like that. That's good. See a little bit inside, a little bit yellow, and see a little bit. Just use the corner of this brush. This is good, like that. And this a little bit darker. That's already good enough. And then the lower, I'm gonna have a little bit more yellow tone. Now I'm going to and let go most of the paint. Now I'm gonna put it over here and let that blend the color in. This is good. Right, this is pretty good. I'm gonna have that up a little bit. This is good. Yeah, that is the outside, the base color. It right now looks darker than it should be, but I think it's not even dark enough. Okay, because of this color against to all the white, and when you have the outside color filled in with darker color, and it would not going to be that much. So now I'm going to go to the other side. The other side looks like I have a little bit tiny more red, so I'm going to take a little bit more red into my brush. So I'm going to take a look and to start over here. That a little bit shape. That's good. Like that. Come over. Okay, now I'm gonna make my brush a little bit clean. Now I'm gonna use this, just the corner of this, moving the color up. Maybe take a little bit more red. I see that a little bit more red in that color. Okay, that's good. And then going to the side over here. And can you see a little bit more red in that area, right? Okay, coming over here, mixed with the blue. Now here we go. Now I'm gonna have that coming down. If the color going outside of the egg area, this is totally fine because the outside is gonna be a lot darker. So I'm gonna have that over here. That's good. Look at the shape on the shell. That's good. And a little bit over here too, like that. I leave a little bit gap for the white. And inside over here have a little bit tiny more blue. Just tap a little bit more blue. It's just very, very easy. And if you don't rush yourself, just analyze one piece at a time. And leave a little bit white gap. Like that. I can have this color coming a little bit in here too. Okay, that's good. All right. A little bit color over here. That's good. And watercolor can dry it really quickly. So, and have a little bit yellow like that, and they'll be fine. Now I'm gonna coming down over here on that table, have a little bit more yellow, but it's not really that bright. So I have yellow, have a little red, tiny red, and tiny more yellow. Here you go, like that. And I have a little bit more blue, so it's not so bright. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to put this color here. And the process is quite important in a painting like this. It looks like where I'm going to start and where I'm going to stop and painting into other area. So this is good. Right over here coming down. So, and be patient and think a little bit more about your plan, and this become quite important, can be. So this is good. I have a little color over here, and then down over here would be the reflection. I'm going to put a little bit over here too, a little bit over here, like that. But just use the corner of this brush and just give a little bit open mind. If it doesn't really go with what you plan, and it could be okay. So you don't need to be too controlled. Just work with the water, work with what you have. Okay, that's good. So after you dry, you're going to see that a little bit more clearly and how you're going to go further from there. So in the middle over here, I'm going to mix a little bit warm color, and this color a little bit too dirty. So I'm going to just try it. I'm going to put that over here. So this, it may not be the color. Okay, right over here, like that. And just the foundation. I may come back to rework on it. Okay, here you go, like that. Use just the yellow now from here. Maybe just a little bit tiny more red. Okay, here you go, right here. Now coming down over here, a little bit yellow. My idea is try to have a little bit wet into wet at the bottom over here. So it doesn't need to be being too clear, too clean over here too, like that. Okay, this is good. Now we're gonna paint the yellow color in the middle. So I'm gonna come back to use the calligraphy brush. Now I'm gonna first get the yellow color, a very bright yellow color. I'm gonna take a look at right in the middle over here. Here you go. This is good. I'm gonna keep the lightest area right there. Okay, so this is the yellow. And I'm gonna actually using lifting for that. Looks like a little bit light going up. So I'm gonna ignore that. It just come over, just paint over like that. This is good. And I'm gonna start getting the have a little bit clean space. Now I'm gonna clean this space out because it needs to be more intense. So I'm gonna put the yellow color here. Take a little bit clean red color from the back over here. Now this is good. Right, this just the different orange color. Okay, here you go. And I'm gonna take a look at the edge. Here you go, like that. That's good. Maybe a little bit stronger yellow. Now coming over here. Here you go, like that. Look at the edge of the shell. Okay, that's beautiful. The edge coming down over here. Here you go, that's good. Now I'm gonna working into here and coming over. Now you see the color very bright and beautiful. Now I'm gonna take more yellow. Just take the yellow, put it in here. Okay, take a look at the shape. Coming down over here, I'm gonna keep a little edge. Okay, that's good. Yep, that's good. You see that? And this, the whole area is still wet, which is good. And coming down over here. That's good. We're going to keep that a little white over here, a little bit lighter. So you see, this is very, very interesting, but I think this is a little bit too dark. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the yellow color, just put the yellow color in, because the whole area is still wet. So the yellow color actually push the existing color to the side. Okay, like that. And it's good. So now I'm gonna light up a little bit, lift up this, and I think this is pretty good, this color. And I'm gonna have just the clean brush, just light up the edge over here. Okay, this is good. Have this little bit soft glowing shape. This is good, like that. Now you have a nice light area. Okay, I think this is pretty good. I can light up this a little bit more over here too. That's good. All right, I think I have enough changes in the eggs. That's good. Okay, and now I'm going to just have a little bit more red. And slow down, don't rush, and never panic. And plan ahead. I'm going to have a little bit brown color. So I'm going to take this color. This is good. This has quite a bit of yellow. So that's good. Have tiny more yellow. Okay, this is good. Now this is quite a brown color. So I'm going to put that right at the bottom over here. This is still wet. All the wet accumulate at the bottom over here. That's good. And now this is the good time to painting inside the egg. Now I'm going to have a little bit tiny more yellow. Now mix it into this color. This is very close to what I want. I'm going to have a little bit water. Right, take a little bit blue from here. I think this is a good color. Just start it and take a look at the top over here. Okay, look at that, like that, slowly looking at the shape coming down. This is right. This is the shape. Okay, that's good. Right over here. That's good. I'm gonna keep coming down and let me know if you need more help, and if you're watching the recording with the color mixings, we can have some sections to focusing on our color mixing system. Okay, coming over here, take a look. That's just the edge. Coming down all the way here and then coming this way. This is good, like that. So you have a nice edge. Now I'm going to cap it all the way down over here first. That's the shape. Okay, here first. Now move the wet, so don't let it get down to the eggs too quickly. This side is very much already dry. That in the middle is still not that dry. Okay, now I'm going to make the bottom even a little bit tiny darker by having a little bit more blue and red. Just take this color, a little bit more tiny more red, and a little bit more blue, a little bit more red again. Okay, here we go. That's good. Just step the color in because still wet, like that. So this will become, so you can come back to do that a little bit later after a little bit more dry. Okay, this is, looks like I need to going a little bit more toward the right side. I'm going to expand it a little bit tiny more. This is good, right? And now we're going to go to the other side. The other side have a little bit more yellow. I'm going to take the little bit more yellow, put it in right over here. And this is good. Let's take a look at this, the height, right? This is good. And just slow down. Don't rush. Okay, that's good. This is the color we talked about a little bit earlier before the painting. Between this color and this color, and which color a little bit darker, that is become very critical to create the proper relationship. So I'm going to take this color and have a little bit tiny blue because this is totally too bright. Okay, this is good. Take a little bit yellow in here. That's good. Now I want to take a look at that again. Now this color, it will be darker than the color before, right? So I'm going to coming over here. Take a look at the edge. Coming over here, I'm going to put that color in here into the gap. Okay, keep going. Now take a look at the edge. Yeah, that's good. Now coming down. Now take a look, and this color would be surely a little bit darker than the yellow color in the inside in the egg. I'm gonna have this a little bit tiny lower, like that. All right, we can still gonna change it after, but now it become have some very good foundation for the painting already. Now you can see the bottom over here. Maybe it's gonna need a little bit more darker, right? So we're gonna come back to do another round a little bit later, right? So now I'm gonna also crucial to add enough fresh orange color right under the egg over here and be a little bit consistent. So I'm gonna have this. Oh, this is too much red. So you can see it as soon as you paint it on the paper. You can see that, oh, this is a little bit too much, right? A little bit too bloody. So I'm gonna get a little bit yellow, and here you go, like that. A lot better already. Okay, like that. And coming over, that's good. Have a little bit more clear, and that curve a little bit. That's good. Like this, coming over, and let's see, over here have a little bit shape over here too. Don't make it look too dark, but I think that's okay. Maybe a little bit tiny more yellow because it look a little bit too warm. Okay, like that. Okay, that's good. Now when we get to this point, the next step is become very interesting. We're gonna painting the outside. But just thinking about if we paint the outside, this is still wet, so I don't want to touch to the outside too soon. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to spend a little bit more time in the middle over here before we go outside. We're watching this if it's ready, okay? So the timing has become always very important. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change to the flat brush. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it wet enough so it's very sharp from seeing the one from the side. Now I'm going to take a look at here, right? I'm going to just use the corner of this. Here you go. Light this up. Okay, that's good. You see that how simple, right? I'm going to have this coming from this corner, coming down, and you can flip the brush. Can have this side sharp. Okay, this is good. And I also want to have this a little bit lighter over here too. And a little bit lighter like that. It would suggest that there is those white sticky layer as well as over here, and showing that this is good. Over here we already have a little bit light, so I'm going to clean this a little bit more, have this a little bit more continue under this side. So this is good. I'm going to have this a little bit tiny lighter as well, and be patient. You can do it. You can do the same. Just light it up. And I'm going to have this a little bit lighter, just the corner, and somehow this brush here is very easy to grab the paint. Okay, here you go, like that. Pretty good. I'm gonna have this a little bit tiny lighter. So just give it the impression. And over here, we have the little bit tiny lighter. So make sure this brush clean too. Okay, like that. Pretty good. All right. Okay. And if you want, you can continue. Light up a little bit into this area. Like that. This is pretty good. You get that? Okay, now we come back to the calligraphy brush. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more shadow. I'm gonna get a little bit blue. So you can see all the time I only use the 3 primary colors. And you can do all the magics. Okay, now I'm gonna have this a little bit gray color, but a little bit more bluish. I'm gonna come back over here to take a look. That's the cast shadow, like that. And coming all the way the top over here, a little bit darker, like that. That's good, right? And maybe a little bit tiny darker. Get a little bit blue with the red, and but more blue than the red. Okay, here you go. A little bit more blue. This is good. Yeah, and here you go, like that. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna make it a little bit tiny lighter by add a little water. Now I'm gonna coming over here. See this shape. See that? That's good. And also the edge over here too. And coming down, have a lot more clear. And the inside over here, and there you go, like that. That's good. I'm gonna have this softly coming up. I think this is ready, so I'm gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna start working in the outside. And the background is very important. Is create the majority dark shape and create a balance for the whole painting. Okay, very important. Now I'm gonna have this a little bit more yellow. Put it over here. That's good. All right, that's good enough. And now I'm gonna have eliminate a little bit. I think that's too thick, this shape. And I'm gonna have that a little bit thinner. But I just light up a little bit and wash that a little bit off. That's just good. All right, now let's painting the outside. This light shape over here, I might go this is using the flat brush to light it up after. Okay, there's the flat brush. Is everyone doing okay? Are you ready for the background? Soften a little bit over here. Come back. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna start painting in the background. And I'm gonna have a little bit more blue color in the background. And also some brown and blue. So I'm gonna start with a little bit brown then. I'm gonna yellow, red, and blue, right? I'm gonna start with a little bit more yellow. I'm gonna only use the color at the corner over here, so it's just easier. I'm gonna get a little bit more red. Now here you go. Now this is the brown color. I'm gonna do that like a wet into wet coming down. I'm gonna take a little bit yellow, take a little bit more blue. Here you go. Now I'm gonna continue. And that's good. Like that. And here you go. Now I'm gonna do a little bit faster. So I'm gonna have a little bit blue and red. So a little bit more purplish. Okay, a little bit tiny more of that. That's just good. Even more blue. That's just good. Now here you go. Now I'm gonna take a look at the edge. Okay, that's very important. Make up your mind. It's just a good idea to probably use a pencil to draw out the shape. And if you're not too sure, so here you go, like that, and over there. That's just a beautiful shape. I think this is a little bit too much. So I'm gonna have come back over here, shrink a little bit, a little bit tiny, like that. That's good. So this brush, very, very helpful, and it can help you. Okay, this help you to get the color more consistent. So this is good. And tap on it. This is good. Now I'm gonna get a little bit more blue. Here you go. Now I'm gonna take a look at the bottom over here, coming down. Here you go. Look at that. And just the corner. That's good. And just get that in here. That's good. Then going over here, we can soften that a little bit later. So here you go. That's good. Coming back. And keep coming down over here. And I know that that's to the reflection of the egg shape. Now, this is pretty good. Now, I'm going to quickly go into this side. Okay, don't let that drive. If you drive, it could have a very inconsistent edge. So, I'm gonna take a little bit more blue. I'm gonna just put the blue, a little bit more blue over here. Okay, wet into wet, make that a little bit blue right here. Just tap on it. That's good. Right there. Very good. Now quickly coming over to this side. I'm gonna take a look. Coming down over here. Okay, that's good. And just looking at the edge. I need to sharpen the brush. Okay, that's good. Coming over here. Just the little shape coming down. This is good. Coming back over here. And looking for the edge. That's good. Like that. Doesn't need to be very, very sharp or smooth. That's good. Now, this is pretty good over here. Now I'm gonna clap over here, coming onto this side, and take a look at the top over here. Here you go. A little bit more. And if you're afraid of making the decision quick, and you can always use the pencil, right, to help you to plan ahead. That's good. Like here. Okay, that's good. I always come back to just tap on it, add a little bit more wet into it. Otherwise, we're getting a little bit too dry. I'm going to come back over here. And also watch out on this side, the wet accumulate to the bottom. And also over here, it's going to getting too dry. So you need to have a whole painting in your mind as you're painting a particular area. Okay, here we go, coming down over here. That's good. Like that. And here you go. Okay, now I'm gonna mix a little bit darker color. Now this time a little bit more red, so it appear to be a little bit purple. This is good. Tap 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 the pink. Just let the wet get back into. Okay, here you go. You got that's good. And coming over here. Here we go. Now I'm going to take a lot more blue. Let's put it in. Now quickly take a look at the reflection. Here we go, like that. Pretty good. All right, now the whole background is kind of covered. Now I'm gonna quickly coming back over here to the left side. I'm gonna have this just a little bit darker, coming a little shape over here, a little big shape over here. I want to suggest that that is the turning from the vertical background to the table, right? Like this. This is pretty good. And now I'm gonna very quickly going into the reflection. Okay, now, well, before I move too fast, I'm gonna use my calligraphy brush. Now lift up the excess accumulate wet right here. Otherwise, it's gonna come down to the middle of the egg. This is good. Like that. And this is good. I think this need to be a little bit more coming in, a little bit smoother. So I'm going to take this dark color and coming back over here. Let's see, careful, and just shape it a little bit like that. That's the shape a little bit better now. Now just good, and coming in a little bit more, and cut this a little bit shorter, and this coming in a little bit. This is good, like that. That's good, right here, and a little bit smoother. That's good. All right, now we're gonna go into the reflection. Okay, come back to the flat brush. Now take a look at, and I'm gonna do the blue color a little bit more over here first. It's gonna be a little bit lighter than outside, so it become a lot easier. Just wash it off like that. You can see that. That's good. Okay, coming over here, I can see that I can add a little yellow color to that, and I feel a little bit more blue, a little bit green color over here. But continue with this color for a little bit more. Now this is good. Now this is the soft color over there. This is looks very nice, right? And I'm gonna go with take a little yellow into here, so it immediately looks like a green, right? That's good. And this is some soft color, some a little bit harder color. This is good. And coming over here, you see the reflection over there too. That's nice. And coming over here, and now I'm gonna have a little bit tiny more blue into here, and coming to the edge, and saying now I'm gonna softening the, make sure it's a vertically, so just like a painting or water reflection, like the river or something, right? So same thing. Okay, coming over here, coming onto this side, look over here, coming down like that. Okay, that's good. And the middle over here, now I'm gonna have a little bit yellow orange color. Here you go. Now take a look at this color. And I'm gonna have, and it doesn't need to be so clean, okay? It's just kind of a little bit blue color, okay, like that, because this is fine, like that. This is gonna be good. And then we're gonna have some yellow color on the top using the same brush. And here you go. I'm gonna get a little bit more yellow. Okay, just follow this step by step. Prepare your mind before you paint it, knowing what you're expecting. Yeah, that's good, like that. So this brush can softening the color as you're applying the new paint. Okay, this is good. All right, have that. That's good. I'm gonna have a little bit tiny darker. Take a little bit tiny blue, a little bit blue over here, a little bit tiny more blue. So as you see, I keep only use the 3 colors so far, and this is good. Now a little bit darker. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start using the yellow. This is very special technique, the yellow, and it's still kind of like a 70% wet. Okay, having this, it's not lots of paint, but because of the color on the table is still wet, I'm going to actually paint this in here too. First, I'm going to have this start moving the paint. You see that? It's become very soft and nice. I'm going to have here too. Have a little bit, just light it up. And coming over here. And I can also have, it feel like a little bit more like a soft reflection. I'm getting a little bit more yellow. I'm going to have it over here. Like a little bit soft. And also I have a little bit soft color over here too. That's just good. I'm going to have a little bit more yellow. Just, I guess so far that only this flat brush can do some of the techniques, which is very, very helpful. I'm going to lift it up over here. And you do two things at once. Lift up the color, applied the new color. Okay, this is good. Now you have a nice kind of reflection and soft. And now I'm going to come back to this side, continue. I'm going to get that a little bit blue, a little bit tiny brighter blue. Now I'm coming back over here. Now give it another round. That's good. Now over here. Now softly coming up over here. Now we've finished the reflection of the eggs. That is very nice. Okay, we're going to come back if we need to do other things. I think this is a little bit too light, so I'm going to just take a little bit blue color. Put it back over here. Just this. The little blue color. I don't want too much texture, too much distraction. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. Gonna soften it just all the way down over here. This is good enough. Okay. Now we're gonna go to, I think the background is pretty good, soft enough, and going all the way from left to the right. And remember, this is the paper I'm using. It's a little bit different from the paper that I have been using most of the time. But this is very close to the way that the Arches paper react. And also at this moment, it's still before Halloween. And if you want to try this paper, just use the link. I have it in the video description. They have pretty good discount on most of the easels, papers, paints, and all equipments. Now we come back over here, take a look at the form of the shell. We need to have this a lot darker, right? Earlier we thought this is already dark enough. Now after you dry it, especially the dark color and outside, you feel like this is definitely pop up too much. So, and also be careful about the edge over here. This is already dry, so no worry. Now I'm going to take a look. What color is it? I'm going to take that little bit blue. So in your mind, there's only three colors, right? What color is it? You're not looking for, oh, the green or the purple. Just the blue, yellow, and red. Okay, here you go. Now I'm going to have this blue color over here first. Like a lot darker need to be, right? That's good. Okay. Coming down over here, that's good. That's good. At the bottom, change the color change. Now this color relate to the outside. Talk about mostly the value. Okay, talk about the color. This is a little bit closer in the value. Okay, this is good. Now I'm going to use the brush this way. Push this, use the middle of the brush. The hair all the way come down. Just touch the surface paper, the paper surface. Okay, over here. That's good. Have a little bit coming up like that. And onto this side. Here you go. That's good. Look at it. That's good. Like that. That's good. I'm going to have changed the form a little bit. Now I'm going to use the water. Just inside over here. Just use part of the brush. Okay, here you go. Like that. Coming here. A little bit softer. That's good. Now I'm going to come back to the top over here. Just the water. Lead the color up. Okay. Yeah, coming up a little bit. You can use the flat brush if you want. I just feeling this could be good enough. I'm gonna have the little bit more red at the top over here. Okay, here you go. A little bit more red. Okay, like that. That's good. Now come down to the bottom over here. Also have a little bit tiny more red. I'm gonna put this color mix into the color that's already there, and coming down. Here you go. Coming down like this. Now you see a little bit more round transition of the form. Okay, that's good. Over here, coming in the bottom over here, as well as a little bit warmer at the bottom over here. This is good, like that. And if you think that the color too much, I'm gonna just open up the brush, make it look like a flat brush. Now I'm gonna actually drag the color in the middle over here, drag it down. This only work when it's wet. Okay, now drag the paint down over here a little bit more. That's good. All right. Now we come back a little bit later. Now I'm going to come to the other side. The other side have a little bit more red. Now take a look at that. Take a little bit blue and a little bit more of this color coming over here. Do you see that? That need to be a lot darker. And the last time when we're painting an egg, and you need to see, I saw that some member that did not actually have enough dark enough in the shadow side. Okay, so always pay attention to the whole form. It's not just a small area. I'm gonna have this down. So this is light, need to be all the way over here, darker and darker on this side. Okay, here we go. This is good. Have a little bit softer on the edge over here. That's good. I am going to have a little bit more of, this is good, but a little bit more blue. It feels a little bit more greenish gray color. That's good. If you can tell what color in that particular shape, and like in terms of yellow, red, and blue, and you very much can mix the color very quickly. Yeah, that's good. Like that. And sometimes we calculate the color by comparing. Okay, this color have a little bit more blue, and that's, you get it. It should be very easy. Okay, now this side of the shape looks pretty good as well. And this maybe look a little bit too much blue, maybe not. We're gonna wait a little bit. And then I think the outside over here can be a little bit darker. So I may be gonna put another application to the background, make this even darker. And maybe a little bit suggestion onto this side too. And take a look at the reflection. Reflection, I think this is pretty good already. Not too much issues that we need to correct. And let's take a look at, and I want to soften that a little bit over here. That's good, like that. And have the edge over here, and a little bit softer. Also a little bit lighter, like that. Very easy to change it. On the outside over here, I'm gonna have this. Just lift it out. That's good. And the same thing over here. Lift it up. Okay, a little bit softer. And also here too. That's maybe too white, so I'm gonna take this color. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna have this. Have the color a little bit softer. And also moving into the background. Okay, like that. That's good. And tap a little bit blue, tiny more blue. Put it right here. Okay, a little bit more blue on the bottom over here. And a little bit more blue over here too, like that. And I think this is good. I'm gonna have this a little bit lighter. Coming over. That's good. I'm gonna have this maybe a little bit tiny lighter. Like almost like a 45, 50 degree. So using this brush so that here can come together a lot nicer. I'm gonna take a little bit blue color and I'm gonna put that in over here. That's too much. Okay, that's good. Soften that a little bit. So I have a little bit tiny green. I'm gonna take a little bit yellow. Put it back over here. That's good. So be a little careful. If you do too many rounds, it's definitely gonna look overworked and too much texture. And there you go, a little bit like that. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Now I'm going to come back over here to take a look. And this color over here on the outside, I'm going to using the lifting, okay, using the corner of this to see if we can just simply light it up. We don't have to be very clean. Just light it up a little bit. And see, that's good. I'm going to have that a little bit light up a little bit over here too. Okay, like that. Oh, this is good. And the inside over here, just a couple times tap on it, you can see very easy to create the illusion. That's good. I'm going to keep it like that. So sometimes we are overthinking and over doing with the watercolor. Sometimes it should be just simple. So it's think a little bit more making a decisions. So, and don't rush. Sometimes like a couple seconds can make a better decision if you rush it in without thinking. And that couple seconds won't help you save that much time. Okay, over here I'm gonna have this a little bit darker and even going to the background. Okay, that's good. And leave the bottom here a little bit lighter. Okay, soften that a little bit. That's good. And make it a little bit lighter, a little bit softer. Now this is good. Now the next thing, I'm gonna come to this side, to the background. Now I'm gonna have the blue and the red. These two colors together looks very dark and almost like as dark as the black, right? So I'm gonna come back over here and take a look at the shape. I think it needs to be a little bit more in a bit. Here you go. That's good. Now a little bit more round. This is good. That's good. And take a look over here. That's good. Like that. All right. So I'm gonna make this area just a little bit darker because that is the change of the between the wall and the table. Okay, here you go. That's good. Now I'm gonna do the same thing over here too. Right over here. That's probably a good shape already. And now I'm gonna come back over here to use just the blue color. Okay, now I'm gonna just to lead the texture higher. That's good. Like that. That's good. Now on the table over here, and I'm gonna just have this leave it over. Just use the wet. That's good. All right, that's beautiful. And maybe this needs to be lighter. So I'm gonna just lift up a little color down over here. Have a little texture like that. This is good. A little bit darker color right here. Tap on it. That's good. And this is good over there. And let's see over here. I may have a little bit color come over. That's good enough. A little bit dry brush like that. That's good. What about on this side? Okay, a little bit coming in. And that's good. That's good enough. And a little bit softer. That's a little bit softer. So you don't want to have this all the same hard edges. Okay, here you go. Coming in a little bit tiny more. Like that. That's good. Like that. And when you come over here, may going to have just a little bit lighter color over here. This is still wet. The outside, the new color is wet. That's good. Now I'm gonna have even softer, like that. Okay, that's good. And the middle over here, a little bit blue, and a little bit yellow. Okay, all right. I'm gonna put this fresh color here. Okay. And by the way, we already finalized with members voting and what are the prices for their our member exhibitions. There are 8 watercolor cold press paper that 3 are 12 by 9 inches and the other is 10 by 7 with exactly the same paper I'm using here. And Meetings already acknowledged that, so we're gonna roll over to that. So next Friday we have member painting review again for the purpose of the exhibitions. So if you are preparing to participate, we still have time. We have another a month to prepare. So take this opportunity to have fun, be part of it. Okay. So I think this is getting pretty good already. I'm going to take a look at if any other detail we need to add to it. For example, in the shell over here, take a little bit more like a light brown purple color. Okay. And take a look over here. See that little gap that we see inside. And we see a little bit. So you see it's just nothing need to rush in the watercolor painting. Make the decision one step at a time. Okay. Don't try to make all the decision at once. This is not going to be relaxing if you do that. Even you're successful, but you're feeling a little bit over pressure or overwhelming. Okay, here you go. One thing, decision always start from big to small, right? I'm gonna have this. Okay, like that, showing the edge. That's good. That's good. And we have that already. And we're gonna have a little bit light gray color. Look at that. What color is it? It's still a little bit warm. Okay, a little bit light gray color. A little bit over here. Like that. A little bit color. That's good. A little bit more blue. Here we go. Now I'm gonna have a little bit shape over here. That's good. Like that. A little bit shape over here. Okay. And we're gonna have a little bit light yellow orange color right here. Okay, that's good. And also a little bit yellow orange, light yellow orange color. Put in the gap over here. Seeing the inside, but it's not wholly. Is have a little bit thin skin in between, right? So this doesn't really see as much. So this is good. I'm gonna take a look and maybe a little bit tiny more yellow. I'm gonna put a little bit tiny yellow over here. Just take a little red, so I mix the color right on the paper. Here you go, like that. Okay, that's good. Give it even a little bit tiny more over there, and I'm gonna put that over here too. That's good. Can have that a little bit softer if you want to. That's good, good enough. Okay. All right, let's take a look at. Is anything else we need to do? Obviously, there's a little bit tiny blue colors over, so I'm gonna lift it up a little bit, soften that, and maybe a little bit yellow, orange color, and also put it in here. So balance it a little bit more, and also now you see the top over here, even a little bit more clear, a little bit darker, right? That's good. All right. This is pretty good. Anything else? Ooh, I see that. There's something over here. I can just soften that a little bit. Don't overdo it. That's good enough. Beautiful. Just a little bit. And the next thing I also want to do, I'm going to try to use the calligraphy brush and try to leave a little bit light shape over here. Can you see it? and just make sure this is already dry. If it's not dry, and it will be create a mess. Okay, that's good. That's good. A little bit tiny, just tiny. Be patient, okay? Don't try to do the whole thing at once. I think this is pretty good. And I also, that could be the last thing I'm gonna do. I have to make this a little bit softer. So making sure the brush clean and just use the water to soften that coming up over here. Okay, that's good. Like that. Wonderful. And on here too, I'm going to also make this a little bit tiny lighter. Just the corner. That's good. Like that. This is great. And let's see. The softness over here looks pretty good. I leave it there. I'm going to have it coming in. Coming in like that. This is fine. And make sure it's not over textured. Okay. And I think the painting is finished. Is that fun? Actually, it's not really totally finished. I'm going to do one more thing and just get the yellow and the red. Get a little bit tiny blue. Okay, that's good. Take a little bit water. When I'm going to put this color, I want to put this, the bottom over here, a little bit darker. Okay, you can see that? That can be a little darker, like that. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have this a little bit darker. All right, and I think this color is okay. It's a little bit too warm, but it should be okay. Get a little bit blue color in here. Okay, coming over here. That's good. Now coming up, and I'm going to just have the little yellow color. Just a little yellow coming up over here. And the top over here a little bit lighter. Now the yellow color merge into here. That create a nice transition from dark going up a little bit lighter and lighter. Okay, I'm going to move the color to a little bit more to this side, so a little bit more lighter on this side too, like that. Okay, that's good. Right, and let's see. The actually can have a little bit tiny blue, tiny blue over here too, like that, and showing a little bit different from the reference, but I want to have that a little bit crack the egg. That's good. And all right, so this painting is done. All right, how do you like that? The bright orange egg. Okay, that's good. You know, if you want, you can have just even a little bit more like that. But whatever you put into, be very careful about the relations between the whole painting. I'm gonna have this little bit yellow orange color. I want this a little bit thinner, so I'm gonna have this just come in over here. Now clean the brush, and you can do that. Have a little bit tiny yellow, right? I'm gonna have that. Make a little bit thinner because the brush lifting up is not exactly that precise. So later, if you decided to, I'm gonna have that a little bit more clear. Okay, you can add the color next to it. Okay, here you go, like that. That's good. I'm gonna have this coming up a little bit more over here, and this can open up the light a little bit more. Okay, here you go, like that. I'm gonna have this a little bit softer. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. Our community has a member exhibitions coming up. Join us and become a member. I will see you in our next lesson.